Welcome, everyone. We'll give everyone a moment to take their virtual seats and we will get started. We're so excited to have you with us. Watching the numbers climb. I think we had almost 70 people register for today's session. We will be recording everyone so that those who were unable to join us that certainly are excited to be a part of International Women's Week 2022 have the chance to benefit from our discussion today, all of your questions, and the insight that we will share. And of course, this is just the beginning of the journey. Just give everyone one more moment and then we will jump in and I will introduce my co-pilots for today's session. All right, I know people are still joining us. Why don't we do an official welcome, warm welcome to everyone for our first community session for International Women's Week. Bonjour tout le monde. We are incredibly excited and cannot wait to roll into 2022 with new vigor, with healthy community, an excited community that is ready to inspire, empower, and equip women from every walk of life in leadership in every professional sphere. As we continue to see more participants joining us online, big warm welcome. I want to begin today by saying the land on which we virtually gather is the unceded territory of the Anishinaabe Nation. We are very grateful to have the opportunity to welcome you all to this session and collaborate with you on this land. And so with that, I'd like to introduce today the two amazing leaders who join me that are going to be instrumental in International Women's Week this year. You will all know, and she is no stranger to anyone, Katie LeClaire. She is now a project manager with Planet Hatch, and she is a valued member of our Women Founders and Owners Subcommittee of our board at Invest Ottawa and Bayview Yards. She has been instrumental in helping to shape the vision and architect International Women's Week now in our fourth year. Welcome, Katie. Thank you for joining us. And another woman who should be very familiar to many of you who have been a part of Accelerate OTT and CAV Canada and so many other events, Sam White, who is our events manager. She joined us from Skate Canada about 8 months ago, jumped in with both feet, and she is architecting and delivering all of our major hybrid events in person, online, and really adding so much value. So Sam, thank you so much. She's going to be a key partner in the delivery of International Women's Week 2022. And with that, we are going to walk through our slide deck. The chat is open. Katie is going to help me to respond to questions as we go. And of course, we will open up the floor at the end to address all of your questions and hopefully have the benefit of sharing this very broadly with our community so that they can take that in as well. Our agenda today, for those of you who are no stranger to International Women's Week, and I see many familiar folks who have joined us, we're going to walk through our purpose, why we do this, our objectives, target outcomes, and desired impact together with you as a community. Initial International Women's Week events that are already starting to roll in. I get so excited. This is truly one of my favorite times of year. The approach, how collaborated and coordinated it is, the opportunities for individuals, teams, organizations, and communities to get involved, to engage and contribute, and next steps, what you can expect to see over the coming months, how our team is excited to support you in all of our International Women's Week goals. Sam, next slide, please. A little bit of background for those who might be new, and I recognize there might be some who are just joining us for the first time. On March 8th every year, the world celebrates the economic, social, cultural, and political achievements of women on International Women's Day. Here in Canada's capital, we join forces as a community and with others across Canada and now around the world to create an entire 2 weeks. I put week there. That's probably a little bit of a facade because our community has rallied so much energy and passion for International Women's Week that it has grown into what is truly almost 2 weeks of dedicated events targeting different types of women in all professional spheres to achieve our goals. And we have branded this in the capital as International Women's Week. And it is getting traction, not just here in our region, but around the world. And I could not be more proud or thrilled and excited to do even more together with all of you in the year ahead. Members across that broad community contribute to, participate in, and benefit from a series of integrated and targeted women in leadership events and initiatives. And we're going to walk through what some of those different opportunities are with you today. Next slide, please. I really always like to begin with our vision because I think it's so important to differentiate what we do together as a community from a set of siloed events or campaigns or social media. This is far more than that. The collective is very, very powerful. We are creating a driver for long-term sustainable change for women in leadership from every walk of life. And together as a community, we strive to create a critical mass wave of successful women leaders from all of those different backgrounds who make a significant impact on our economy and society. That is our guiding light and North Star for this event. And now, more than ever, there is so much need to continue driving on this goal. The pandemic, as we all know these statistics, they are all around us and we all use them. I see so many people here that I know join us in this goal and are doing great work in their community. That the detrimental impact of the pandemic has set us back years. We now need to regain that lost ground, and strategic and collaborative action is the only way to achieve that goal. I really believe that Canada's capital, together with partners, and I see some from right across Ontario, welcome Devin, who's coming to us from Northumberland, coming together, Canada can lead the world, and Ottawa has a very critical leadership role to play. And this is our 4th year. This is the 4th International Women's Week. This has got traction and legs, and we can continue to grow that impact together as an integrated whole. So we are calling on all region and all nations to join us and create and contribute to that powerful wave of global action to move this dial now more than ever. Next slide, please. Announcing International Women's Week 2022. February 28th is the Monday. We debated whether or not to start everything cleanly at the beginning of March. We actually really like the bookending of Monday to the following Friday, 2 weeks later. So we are proposing February 28th to March 12th. And of course, there will be many follow-on events, echo events as we call them, that will trickle past March 12th. We hosted many that went right up, I think almost into the first week of April, right, Katie? Last year. That wave of action, those goals are what are important. We don't want to get caught up in the specific 2-week period we've chosen, but that is the beacon, and it just gives us a point of reference on which we can found all of the good work that we will do together. And of course, with the pandemic, which is still certainly very much underway, and the risks of the new variant and the challenges that we face as a community to keep our numbers down and keep everyone healthy and safe to the very best of our ability, we are going to work together to determine the right approach. Some events may be virtual, some may be hybrid, some, if we're in a much better position by the time we land into March and we know better what the pandemic has in store for us, could even be in person. But we want you to know that all the different types of events are welcome. Campaigns, online campaigns, and different ways of engaging. The more creative, the better. We want everyone to take action and do something that is safe, that keeps everyone healthy and protected, that has impact. And I think we have all proven that hybrid events, virtual events can absolutely have impact, create community where it is needed now more than ever to feel connected and like we're all working together on some shared goals. Next slide, please. Our objectives. We've just covered off some in the vision, that internationally recognized region, province, country with a critical mass of top women identifying leaders who achieve that significant impact on our economy and society. Our goal is to come together with you to inspire, empower, and equip women leaders in professional fields, and that's all fields. We're passionate about entrepreneurship, tech, innovation, and Main Street business here at Invest Ottawa. There are so many more fields. There's individual sectors, there's the investment space, government, academia, research, not-for-profits. Every voice matters. Any woman who is pursuing professional leadership, we want her to see herself in what we create together. And we're going to leverage and harness the power of our collective resources, our energy, our initiatives to create that critical mass wave of action and build a foundation for broader collaboration on shared goals. And my goodness, if there's one thing I can say, I have seen immense collaboration across individuals, different teams, different organizations, and communities throughout the last 4 years that target enabling and empowering women for greater success in the leadership path they have chosen. So thank you all for being champions, for being here today and committing to these goals. Next slide, please. Target outcomes and impact. Strategic coordinated community action. I want to emphasize this is not an Invest Ottawa initiative. This is for the community, with the community. This is for you, with all of you, for all the stakeholders that we serve. And we want to drive tangible and measurable action that delivers results. That's new opportunities, whether an opportunity to increase your career, to pursue and negotiate a higher salary, to gain investment, to break into new networks, to pursue a new professional path. There's so many different types of opportunities that we can create that it's truly almost limitless. Benefit and impact for aspiring and current women leaders. That impact takes many, many forms. It can be new relationships, information that empowers them to make better decisions, opportunities that lead to securing of new funding, a greater job, the type of a mentor or collaborator who can make a difference in their personal and professional world that allows them to go further. We do not put any bounds on the type of benefit and impact. We look to you to help create and carve that out in the vision, mission, and mandate you set for your International Women's Week contribution. Demonstrated action from new and existing champions and allies for women in leadership, people from every walk of life working together in this goal. That is men and women, non-binary individuals who all come together and want to drive action on this critical goal. We are a community, all are welcome, every single person. Next slide, please. Collaboration is key to success. And just last year in the pandemic, when I was a little bit nervous about what kind of traction we would see, how would people seize this opportunity, we had 60 community partners, more than that actually, that came together to make International Women's Week 2021 possible. More than 50 events, all virtual at that time because of the state of the pandemic, and all rallied on inspiring, equipping, and empowering women in leadership. It truly made me cry. It was so moving, and it just really emphasized to me that we've got something important that we're pursuing together, that people see value in, the people coming together to drive that action, and those who are coming together to benefit and be a part of that action. So let's do it again this year. I see 37 participants who are with us today, and a whole slew of emails that have come in on my email to say, I'm in, I just couldn't be there today. I know we're set up for success together with all of you in the year ahead. Next slide, please. Katie is going to present to you some of the highlight reel from last year, just to give you a sense of what we achieved together.
Thank you so much, Sonia. And I can just vouch for the tears that were shed. They were shed on my side as well. And I'm just so excited to come here today and talk about what we achieved last year, because I think we don't take enough time to reflect back on what we as a collective have done. And it's truly, truly outstanding. We had 52 International Women's Week events published and promoted through our events calendar. That is outstanding. There in 1 month, 52 events, outstanding. As Sonia had said as well, over 60 collaborators. That's people here with us today and beyond. Truly outstanding, and that speaks to why we were able to get the 52 events and achieve so much. We had over 15,000 visitors to our website. Specifically our International Women's Week web page. That is outstanding, and that means there's so many eyes, as Sonia said, from the city, around the nation, and around the world, really, that are coming to our page to see what we're doing and to participate in our amazing initiatives. We as Invest Ottawa, we wanted to highlight this as well, because this is the information we were, of course, as an organization, Invest Ottawa was able to collect. After 18 events, co-led and led by Invest Ottawa, there were over 2,000 participants in those 18 events. And in addition, we had a really exciting initiative that took place last year, and we're going to continue on throughout the year and moving forward, the Power of Why podcast. There's over 3,000 streams. So that means the amazing featured leaders that were on that podcast and other guests had over 3,000 streams of their episodes, and that content really has a long life. So if people weren't able to check out those episodes of the Power of Why podcast, make sure to and keep an eye out for the ones that are going to come this year, because there's going to be amazing things in the next few months, and lots of content to learn from and benefit from those wonderful leaders who are soon to be announced. And also, I wanted to draw some attention, because this was very exciting for all of us. If people were paying attention to International Women's Week, they saw that Arlene Dickinson was tweeting throughout the week, throughout the initiative, drawing so much attention and really being a very clear champion and ally. And that was really an amazing thing that we got to watch online, and just brought even so much more pride to what we were doing as a collective. And you can check out her full threads on what she shared. And I anticipate that she'll be another champion this year as well as other amazing leaders from Canada too. Okay, so next slide, Sam and Sonia, back to you.
Excellent. So that achievement is something that we are looking to replicate. We are always looking for ideas to find those influential decision makers, change makers, groundbreakers who can help us bring International Women's Week to communities that may not know about us yet, that could benefit. And so looking at those leaders from every walk of life who can help to open those doors, perhaps building on some of the great speakers that we had at Accelerate Aught. And many of you I know were a part of that conference that we hosted, dedicated to women founders and funders, leading from the stage and the airwaves. Stay tuned, because we really want to harness the power of everyone in our community to achieve those goals. Building on our anchor 3 years as we enter year 4, we really do want to achieve greater impact in 2022. We want to look much more at intersectionality and empowering more self-identifying women from every single walk of life, with a strong focus on all equity-seeking groups. We want to focus continually on the challenges presented by the pandemic, which has now gone on, I think, for close to 22 months. How do we equip women leaders better for success and ensure that they remain with us in the workforce in a sustainable way for themselves, for their families, and for our society? Generating greater provincial, national, and global participation. We've got some really exciting promotional opportunities and media pursuits that we will be undertaking to continue moving that dial as well. Meaningful engagement and calls to action. Not every event or opportunity needs to be massive with hundreds of people. I know that's something that gives great reach in terms of the type of audience that we successfully empower. Sometimes the opportunity, and I saw it last year, to create workshops with a small focused group of women where you can go deep over 3 to 5 hours and help them to acquire new skills, think about things differently, create a safe environment to discuss challenges that they're working through. Very, very important as well. It takes a suite of all types of events and opportunities to move this dial for individuals and for society at large. So please be very creative when you're thinking about what that right opportunity is to achieve your desired impact. Demonstrated support and action, not just words. So backing up social media, anything you're putting in writing, anything that you're saying in event, with longer term action plans, investments where possible. And I know it's not always possible, but there are many different types of actions that we can take as individuals and as a community. And measuring and promoting the outcomes of your individual events, and for us at Invest Ottawa, of International Women's Week broadly. We did do a lot of surveying after the events that we were directly either hosting, co-hosting, or deeply involved in. And we want to build out that methodology so that we've got a means of saying at the end of International Women's Week, we collectively help to achieve X, Y, and Z, measurable, tangible impacts on the opportunities that we created for women and how we're helping to address some of the specific challenges that we face. So more to come on that, and we really want to hear your ideas. That's a big, big goal that we have through our International Women's Week collaboration. I know everyone will be interested to see what types of events are already coming up on the roster. And you will have seen, for those of you who are tried and true champions of International Women's Week, many that are coming in that are annual in nature. We're incredibly excited, of course, to host the F Factor Fueling Women Founders, our International Women's Week launch event on Monday, February 28th. Again, we are pretty committed to hosting that, and hopefully we'll use that date to celebrate Black History Month, as well as the start of International Women's Week, with the type of speakers that we bring forward. So that to me is a really great, distinct opportunity. Together with the Capital Angel Network, our Women Angel Investor Breakfast, and the official launch of call for applications for She Boot, our investment ready boot camp for women founders. Stay tuned. hopefully on the Wednesday. I know Sophia's with us, Women Leading Globally in Cybersecurity, University of Ottawa, IO, coming together. This will be, I think, our third or fourth event. It's incredible to me how much time has passed and how much traction that we have had through this week. Devin, welcome from Northumberland Strike Up Canada Conference on the 3rd. We can't wait to support you. Some incredible speakers. Joanna Griffith from NICS. I'm jealous. We tried to get Joanna Griffiths for Accelerate Aut and failed. I'm thrilled. I can't wait to hear her speak. So kudos, Devin, and welcome. Elevate Girls, Solange is with us. Elevate International hosting a mentorship event to inspire, equip, and empower young girls. And then, of course, on the actual International Women's Day, on the next slide, Miss Sam, we will see already the anchor event that Elevate International hosts at Parliament Hill. Touch wood, we will actually be able to host that in person. And I know that there will be many other opportunities coming forward, particularly on International Women's Day. One of the drivers for creating this week is that we all didn't clamor to try and host individual events on a single day on March 8th. We wanted to spread them out, give people the opportunity to collaborate where it makes sense to come together to create more horsepower and more impact together, but to give all types of women in every sphere, of every age, of every background, the opportunity to see themselves and choose events that benefit them, that target the specific challenges or opportunities they might be seeking. So really spreading them out over the course of that 2 week, as opposed to everyone zeroing in on the 8th, something we strongly recommend. And that's really part of the strategy behind this entire week. Now, there are many other events, exciting ones under development with dates to be confirmed. I am very excited, and I don't think she's with us. I think she's sitting in the house today. Jenna Suds, who is Parliamentary Secretary for Gender under Minister Marcy Ian, and I are going to be collaborating on the conduct of a National International Women's Week event. Stay tuned. I'm incredibly excited, and I think it's an opportunity for us to look at some of the biggest challenges that we face through the pandemic as women and bring together our national community to shine a spotlight on what Canada is doing to address them. The University of Ottawa, Dr. Barbara Orser, working with us at Invest Ottawa on implementing the GEAT Plus tool and the review of our programs. That has gone incredibly well, and we're going to be sharing some of the key learnings through International Women's Week with her and her team. There's a Main Street Business Owners event for women that's going to be co-hosted by RJA, by the Ottawa Board of Trade, by Acobia and Invest Ottawa, specifically our Small Business Enterprise Center, Paula Hopkins, the leader on our side. Incredibly excited, building on the immense collaboration that was so instrumental during the Digital Main Street program and all the subsequent collaboration across these organizations. I'm incredibly excited to see what unfolds. I know that Smart and Bigger is with us. You see that I've listed the IP event potentially with an organization called CHIPS. Julie Klein, thank you for being with us today. I'm also really excited about the women leaders in automotive out of Silicon Valley, where we partner around Area X.0. We're going to be hosting an event as well. And this is just the start. So there are many more. There are ideas out in our community right now that I just don't have visibility of yet. I hope you share them all with me as we go forward. And of course, all are welcome. There will be many events. I am confident we will have dozens, just like we have in years gone by. So thank you all for the creativity and the inspiration that you will bring. Next slide, please. Promotional strategy. So there are many actions that we take to support you, and Katie's going to get into some of those very tactical ways that Invest Ottawa will rally to equip you to promote your events and be a part of something much larger within the International Women's Week. We want to make sure that we've got a promotional strategy that stretches over the next 3 months. That's why we host our introductory session in December. We gear up and hit the ground running in January. We're going to be targeting women identifying individuals, champions, and allies, seeking those opportunities to drive growth and success of aspiring and current professional women leaders, looking for ways to have meaningful engagement, drive real measurable change, looking to achieve that impact we've discussed, and growing the number of women leaders in our region, in our country, and around the world. How can you help us? Katie's going to dig into some of those tactics. You know that we are here to help provide that web page and that online calendar that puts a wrapper around everything we do and drives critical mass eyeballs and all kinds of opportunities for promotion for you individually and for the week overall and our big picture goals. Using the hashtag We Mean Business, which caught in the very first few weeks of the very first International Women's Week and has continued to thrive. So we're excited to leverage that in our social and amplifying, promoting, and engaging in your initiatives and in those that are of interest to you and of value to you and your stakeholders across the community. Before I hand back over to Katie, one thing that's very important to me is that every organization feels empowered to pursue their specific goals, their specific vision related to the opportunities and challenges with respect to women leaders. Do not feel bound to address anything specific that you might see happening in other parts of the community. Make this your own. That's what makes International Women's Week so powerful, is the diversity of the different types of events. We want to give you a voice and empower you in those goals by being a part of something where 1 + 1 equals, 3 million, not just 3. It really is powerful collaboration. Next slide, please. And I'm going to hand over to Katie.
Thank you, Sonia. So yeah, as Sonia already said, and so many or at our event today, or in this webinar right now, we'll know exactly what we're referring to here, but we do have a calendar of events, and so that's where we publish all events and make it one stop for anyone visiting and looking to engage and to get a full picture of what's available. So that will be up and running, and we'll make sure that everybody understands the process and it's very clear and communicated, and how to submit your events, how they're then approved, and how they're published to our calendar. As well, for the people on the call, our team, as you know, and the team at Invest Ottawa is busy and has so many initiatives on the go and prioritizes International Women's Week, but wants to make sure that each and every one of the collaborators and collaborating organizations that's engaged in International Women's Week is recognized as collaborators. So if on the web page you take a look and you see that perhaps your logo isn't up, or that you'd like to have your logo up or your resources up and published to the website, please get in touch with Sonia or our team. We'll make sure you have the email address to send to, and just flag that change needs to be made, and we'll manage that absolutely. So again, just that we'll have the collective calendar, and also we love to highlight all collaborators. For key messaging, in addition, of course, everything International Women's Week is supporting International Women's Day. So we want to absolutely make sure we're also amplifying their key messages and supporting their campaigns. You would have seen probably published, and Sonia included in one of her most recent LinkedIn posts, a look back on a video that was produced last year to support the campaign that was going out for International Women's Day. We encourage everybody to do that as well. The more the merrier, and the more support across our city and our country, the better. For co-branded social media assets, I'm in the next coming slides, you're gonna get a look to see what those will look like. But everyone on this call, anyone hosting an event, or anyone who wants to work as an ambassador, a champion, an ally, will have accessible to them resources so that they can splash our messaging all over the social media channels, through any newsletter subscription lists that you are in control of. You'll have all of those assets ready to go out to make it easy and smooth. So for the coming months of how the process will unfold in terms of how you can engage. So of course, the first action was having this information session. We learned last year that it was a much smoother process, and that lots of people were seeking detailed information. So that's why we made it a webinar, and it's worked out really well. So that's what we kicked off here in December, and we'll have, of course, a second webinar to make sure that everyone's up to date with how International Women's Week 2022 is evolving. We will be launching the collective campaign, so that will be first thing early January. And again, each person attending today will have those resources and assets directly in their inbox to make that smooth and easy. The call to action, always, the collective call to action is go and visit the webpage. The more eyes that we have on the webpage, the more events that we have published there, the better. And that just makes sure that everyone everyone has a view of what is happening, you know, with each one of our collaborators and each one of our partners, so that, as Sonia said, the diversity of events, everyone can capitalize on really what's out there, and there should be stuff out there for each and every individual person who wants to be engaged. And then Sonia reiterated this, but I'm going to reiterate it again. Using the hashtags are always key. So hashtag IWW 2022, and then We Mean Business. We Mean Business has stayed with us each and every single year. And it always makes us proud to see that published and shared online. Sam, next slide. Thank you. Okay, so last year we took the feedback and, you know, collected input from our partners, and, you know, we wanted to launch a brand that really captured what International Women's Week represented to all of us as a collective. And that's exactly what the amazing team at Invest Ottawa did last year. And we're going to stick with the branding and the style that we introduced. The feedback was outstanding, and really what people most often use, the word they most often used was proud of the visuals, proud of the representation, of the color, of how dynamic the branding really was. And so we're sticking with it. With that, again, as we already spoke to, but just to reiterate, we'll be sending you the branding kit along with downloadable branding assets, which you yourself can adjust to include your organization's logo or any key message that you wish, but we'll make sure to stay in line with what every one of the champion and allies and partners and collaborators is putting out on their platforms. So it'll be really simple, easy document where you'll literally have access to all of this information you see here, our key colors, our imagery, our key messaging, and then as well quick and easy links to just click and download the visuals or the graphics and the assets. Next slide, Sam. Here, we just wanted to share with you a little bit for those who are new and those who just want a great flashback to get excited about this year to come. Here is what different visuals and assets look like. These are specific to Facebook ads or Facebook posts. And this is what we had done at Invest Ottawa to promote different initiatives that were taking place, or different events, webinars, workshops, whatever it might be. This is how we use the different colors. This is how we integrated the faces. Each one of these individuals were speakers or hosts or involved and engaged in last year's International Women's Week. That's how we made it personal and also really representative of you know, what we want to achieve with International Women's Week. The colors just get me so excited and keep it so dynamic. So yeah, so this is exactly what you can expect in the coming months, and what you can expect when you go to promote your events, if you choose to use the assets and the branding that we've developed for International Women's Week. Next slide. We make it simple and easy. I won't go into too many details here, but it's all available on the website as well at the link. You'll have a link which you can just click, call to action, to upload the details of your events so that we on the back end receive that and then publish that to our calendar. So that will be as simple as a click and then filling in a few key information you know, slots in through our website. As well, participating in the week, joining our mailing list. That's what we're going to use. Many, if not most of the people here today with us are probably part of that mailing list. That's why you were aware of this event and you keep up to date and you're engaged on a regular basis with everything International Women's Week and women initiatives. But that really is a great way to stay on top of what information is coming out. As well, we just encourage you to pass that along and share that with friends. This link, again, will be available on our website or will be available at the website. And then the social media kit, it will be as easy as clicking a link on the website again, so you can amplify our message and really be an ambassador of International Women's Week. Next slide, please.
Excellent.
So now off to you, Sonia.
Oh, lots. I think we've covered off the social media strategy. There'll be lots of calls to action. And of course, anyone who knows me, and I just looked through the participant list, there's many, many good friends and colleagues. You all know that I'm a LinkedIn girl. So you can count on me tagging all of you now that I know that you're passionate about sharing in this goal. If you're brand new, you can anticipate that we will be looking to amplify you, your organization, your events through everything we do, and equipping you with the social media kit that Katie described. And we will jump into the next slide. I think we might be coming up on our ask of you. Yes, next step. So of course we want to hear from you. Katie last year launched a Slack channel, the International Women's Week Slack channel. If you haven't had the opportunity to join, we think that's a great online community. Certainly during the pandemic, it creates a safe way to engage. So we encourage you to join that, and we can send that out to you as a follow-up. If you have any trouble finding it on Slack, I don't think you will, but all are welcome. We will be hosting another webinar in January. Our bilingual webpage, online calendar, social media kit with updates and those promotional opportunities should be available. I'm going to say second to third week of January. I want to make sure that our team has a good chance to rest. They've been going hard all year, and an opportunity to come back refreshed and make those updates and changes. But we really do want to reuse and repurpose what we created last year, which worked so well. We'll have updates, of course, on International Women's Week events that you'll all be hosting, and some initial media strategy ideas as well. And as we move to the next slide, we need your help. Of course we do. We want to collaborate with you on everything. And there's so many different statistics, data sources. Information truly is power. If there's any stats or information, anything you would like us to profile that really equips our community, either the women that we're targeting or the champions and allies, to better understand the challenges, the opportunities, and equips them to take better action, informed action, we would love to hear what those resources are. Please send them along to myself. You certainly are all connected to me, and we really do want to hear from you. Any opportunities and resources that you have, please direct us, particularly those that deal with professional advancement. This is all about women in professional spheres of leadership, so we welcome your recommendations. Join our mailing list, as Katie mentioned, if you are not already. And I think as we jump into the last slide, it might be our thank you slide. Yes, this is where we give the microphone over to you, virtually, of course, to see if there's any questions. And I do see one question coming up. And Katie, I think you would like to answer this. If we submit an event idea, are we able to leverage the Invest Ottawa conference platform, or do we have to host those independently? Now it says that Katie would like to answer this question live, but it might be me or Sam that might be better positioned to do so. Yeah. Okay. So in some cases where we're collaborating, and of course there are many different events that we host at Invest Ottawa for our education center, training sessions, part of our regular course of business, I'm going to say please reach out to me. In some cases, everything may be booked. We do our best to reserve a lot of those capabilities specifically for this 2-week period, but we do have other things, imagine, that are continuing to run in parallel. So there's all kinds of different ways we can support, but unfortunately we could not guarantee that we could make available our Zoom links, for example, our Hopin platform or our facility, but we do encourage you to reach out. And if we can't, we can always guide you and recommend other resources and put you in touch with people that might be able to support. I hope that helps.
Yeah, I'll just say one additional thing, Sonia, building on that. One of the reasons why we launched the Slack channel last year was really in consultation with so many of the partners on the call today and others. Who had said, you know, we were trying to figure out the best way to allow for collaboration amongst different partners too, and to get information out there to one another, exchange ideas and resources. So using the Slack channel and being an active contributor really can help in making sure that collaborators can meet, you know, potential collaborators can meet one another, and then those with shared interests and shared goals can also meet through that tool too. So that's one way where we're trying to really facilitate that as well, in addition to Invest Ottawa working with so many to make events happen. We want others to collaborate as well, because that's really where we've seen such great things achieved.
Welcome, Saman. And Saman wants to know, Katie, the exact name of the Slack channel. And you, I know, are the keeper of that information.
Yeah, it's International Women's Week. It's women with the X, and as our community knows as well, we made the change to have women with the E. So the name may be adjusted, but we'll make sure if you're subscribed to to our mailing list, we'll have direct links and names for those who are interested in joining, as well as a direct contact. So anyone who's having challenges or issues finding the channel, they can be put contact directly with a team member, so we can get you logged in right away.
Awesome. I think we have another question. What would be the best way to offer to speak and host a workshop for International Women's Week? To be defined, a collaborator on Slack. Slack is definitely one of those ways that we're trying to bring the community together to facilitate those discussions. Again, if you'd like to reach out to me, sometimes we can work some magic and be able to identify those who might not necessarily be a part of Slack, where there's a synergy. We really are here to try and help create those magic mixes, as one of our speakers used to call it, so that you can move forward with that collaboration. But Slack is definitely a great resource, and that's exactly the purpose. Okay, I'm just going to take a peek here. Okay, I don't see any other questions popping up, and I see lots of people who are with us today that might have insight or questions. Welcome Barbara Orser. She's going to be hosting an event with us. I see my friend and colleague and Shibu co-founder Julia Elvidge with us. So of course she's going to be deeply involved in the F Factor and in our Angel Breakfast and likely many other events as well. So many great people. Some of my colleagues from Invest. Just amazing to see this great group. Any other questions from our virtual audience that Katie and I can address, or any? Oh, here we go. Thank you, Julia. How can we subscribe to emails? Okay, Katie, it'd be wonderful if you could drop in the link to our newsletter. We've been driving for that newsletter subscription over the last 2.5 years, and we got a nice big boost when we hosted Accelerate Aut, which many of you I know were a part of. That opened up all kinds of new subscribers to us, so hopefully that will give even more lift to International Women's Week as well. All right, I'm just looking to see if we don't have any further questions. We did record today's session. You know that I will be sharing it certainly through my channels, and Invest Ottawa will be promoting it broadly as well. We encourage anyone in your community who couldn't join us today to take the opportunity to share it with them. All are welcome. That's, I guess, my main message. We really want to work with everyone collaboratively in our community to drive this goal. That's the only way that we will drive true progress. And if we are not speaking with you before the holiday season, from all of us at Invest Ottawa, Bayview Yards, and AreaX.O, we wish you and your loved ones a very safe, healthy, happy holiday season and an incredibly joyful, productive, and prosperous new year where we drive together on this important goal. Thank you so much for being a part of today, for all of your commitment, and for the action that I know we're going to continue to drive together. Have a wonderful day, everyone.